The morning of June 25, 2009, started like any other for Michael Jackson. The King of Pop was preparing for his highly anticipated This Is It concert series, scheduled to kick off in London. However, as the day progressed, a series of events unfolded that would shock the world and bring an end to the life of one of the most influential artists in history. This video will delve into the final hours of Michael Jackson's life, focusing on the actions and decisions of his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray, and the conflicting accounts that emerged in the aftermath. Dr. Conrad Murray, a cardiologist, was responsible for Michael Jackson's health and well-being. On the morning of June 25th, Jackson was scheduled to rehearse for his upcoming shows, but he had been having trouble sleeping. According to Murray, he administered a combination of sedatives, including Propofol, a powerful anesthetic, to help Jackson rest. Propofol is typically used in hospital settings for surgery, and is not approved for use in a home environment. However, Murray had been giving Jackson this drug for several months to help him sleep, a decision that would later come under intense scrutiny. Around 10 a.m., Murray claimed that he left Jackson's side for a short time to use the bathroom. He stated that when he returned, Jackson was asleep but not snoring, which was unusual. By 11:51 a.m., Murray made a phone call to Sade Anding, a friend and employee of Jackson's. During this call, Murray heard Jackson gasping for air and rushed back to the bedroom. He found Jackson not breathing and without a pulse. Instead of immediately calling 911, Murray began performing CPR. The timeline of events becomes murky and contradictory as we piece together the accounts from various sources. According to Murray, he continued CPR for about 15 minutes before calling Michael Amir Williams, Jackson's chief of staff, at 12:12 p.m. Williams, who was not at the house, received a frantic voicemail from Murray, urging him to come to Jackson's home immediately. By the time Williams arrived, it was too late. Meanwhile, Kai Chase, Jackson's personal chef, was in the kitchen preparing lunch. Around 12:05 p.m., she saw Murray running down the stairs in a panic. He instructed her to call security and get Prince, Jackson's eldest son. Chase, however, did not call security and instead went to get Prince, who was already aware of the commotion. Prince was told to stay downstairs, and the nanny, Rosalind Mohammed, and the housekeepers gathered in the kitchen, praying and crying. The security detail, including Alberto Alvarez, was unaware of the crisis unfolding upstairs. Alvarez, who was in the security trailer, had no idea that Jackson was in distress. Fahim Mohammed, Jackson's chief of security, had left the property to run an errand and was not present when the emergency occurred. Murray's delay in calling 911 is a critical point of contention. According to phone records, he did not call emergency services until 12:21 p.m., nearly 30 minutes after he discovered Jackson in distress. This delay has been cited as a significant factor in Jackson's death, as immediate medical attention could have potentially saved his life. When paramedics finally arrived, they found Jackson unresponsive and began resuscitation efforts. He was rushed to the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at 2:26 p.m. The investigation into Jackson's death revealed a complex web of lies and contradictions in Murray's account. Phone records, witness testimonies, and medical evidence all painted a different picture of what transpired that morning. Murray's decision to administer Propofol, his failure to call 911 promptly, and his contradictory statements to the police all contributed to the case against him. On November 29, 2011, Dr. Conrad Murray was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 4 years in prison. The trial shed light on the reckless and negligent behavior that led to Jackson's untimely death. Murray's actions, including the administration of a dangerous drug in a non-clinical setting and his delay in seeking emergency help, were deemed to have played a significant role in Jackson's demise. In conclusion, the final hours of Michael Jackson's life were marked by a series of tragic and avoidable events. The actions of Dr. Conrad Murray, his negligence, and the delays in seeking medical help ultimately led to the loss of a musical icon. Despite the many questions that remain unanswered, the legacy of Michael Jackson continues to inspire and influence generations of fans and artists around the world.